Hi, my name is Maris. I'm the engineering manager to TopHat Industries. I'm basically in charge of everything manufacturing, engineering, maintenance, and system integration engineering. TopHat is a modular homes company. It's pretty much building houses inside of a factory. It's a bit of a revolution, let's say. We're making houses out of structural timber, and also we're using machinery into an automated, a semi-automated mode to prepare all those materials. TopHat intent is to move into a zero carbon homes from a traditional process where you needed a lot of builders, you need a lot of machinery on site, you need a lot of materials on site, you're creating a lot of waste, you do all those kind of things into a controlled environment, and this is what we do in TopHat. When we started the concept of TopHat, obviously we started traditional, cutting everything by hand, and we started to have a lot of rework. So at that point, the management decided we need to improve that into a semi-automated system. So we got the first saw in, and that was hugely improved because basically the quality and the capability study and capacity study after that improved a lot. And also you needed less people to do a huge amount of boards, for example. And we are cutting different boards, different sides, different designs, so different materials as well. We're cutting all the type like cement boards, plywood, floorboards, and chip boards, things like that. So imagine to cut that by hand, it will take a lot of time, and you're also going to have a huge scrap rate because you needed to mark it and you needed to have the same person to cut the same all the time, which is traditionally that doesn't work like that. So that's why we got the semi-automated machine. To have an automated factory helps a lot with recruitment because you don't look for that specific skill. You don't look for the joiner skill a lot. You don't look for side skills anymore. You look for people who knows how to find a work instruction, how to read a work instruction, and how to position some boards in place and unload them. Really, the recruitment is way much easier now. Let's compare it for building, I don't know, 2 modules a day. You will need around 8 people to cut the boards and prepare them. And also you'll need a lot of hand tools. The environment wouldn't be great because you need extractions everywhere you're going to do that. So when we decided to change that into a machine, then you just needed 1 machine and 2 manufacturing operatives to do that. The immediate benefits was straight away the quality and the quantity of the product. And then from environmental point of view, the extraction unit attached to our saw made a huge difference because basically you can just stay into a smarter next to the saw, you're not going to get dusty. Well, if you'll do that by hand, it would be a different story. Basically, when we bought the second full automated one, the first thing we classed it was the capacity. The requirements for the modules was higher at that point, so the capacity needed to increase, and we maximized the capacity on the first Striebig. We did a calculation where we had people on 2 shifts on the 1 machine only, and we could run like that for a while. But then we decided if we're going to buy a new machine, that's an annual save of 25 grand. So basically we will save £25,000 just from having another machine, based on the 10% bonus you need to give to the people for a second shift, based on the additional people you have around the machine and things like that. So that's why we bought the machine. And also into our design capacity, you couldn't design some different things like, I don't know, the tone and groove. You couldn't design when that goes. So you will need to adjust the manual machine all the time to allow an extra 2 mil or things like that to cut, where in the automatic you could adjust that from the system point of view, so you will be straight into and just cut it automatic, which sometimes we were creating scrap on the first machine because it was an operator error where they forgot to put that 2 mil in. That was big for us when we got the machine to be automatic, to make sure we eliminate those kind of issues from the machine. Before we bought the machine, our saw was the bottleneck of the factory, because you imagine you need to cut so many internal and external boards into 1 single machine. Now people don't need to look for materials anymore. Everything's labeled, everything comes into a designated area, and that's massively, we basically cut around 36% of waste in time just by doing labeling and just by having the material and the boards in the right place and the right time. When we bought the machine, we were thinking, how can we make the Striebig even more efficient? Obviously, we will cut the boards efficient from the design point of view, but you imagine when you design a house, you will need a floorboard into a corner of the house and then one in the middle. When you cut those boards, you're just going to cut them in order. You're not going to know which one goes first or things like that. With this new software, that will optimize the machine itself. So that will optimize the cut itself. So they will know if you cut this board for 1 meter, the waste of it, you can cut it again for 200 millimeters, let's say, and use it into a corner. So this is where we started actually to use all the waste of the boards. And at the minute we have a board's waste, I think it was last time we checked, it was about 20% only, instead of what we had before, 38 or 36 or things like that. So we got way better from the optimization point of view. The new Striebig is integrated really well with the new machinery, because basically, like I said, you're going to use different machines for different material. With the cement board, we were fine before. Let's say we can cut on the same old machine all the time. They're quite the same sizes all the time, so it's not a lot of hassle to do it. And the new one is just a beautiful extension of the old one, because basically they're just gonna do the right quality, the right quantity, and they're gonna get rid of the waste of the material. So yeah, they link beautiful together. Basically what we didn't expect is from those machineries is to have an easy maintenance, because when you think about a machinery that's doing an automatic work, you'll say, well, that means it's hard to maintain. It was different with Striebig because the panels are so open, you can just go in, clean it, hoover it, grease it by yourself. Our technicians doing an amazing job. They're doing some preventative TPM. I must say, especially with the new one, since we have it, we never had any kind of mechanical issues or any mechanical failures with it. So I would say, yeah, that's probably something I didn't expect. So why did we pick Striebig is obviously because you will see it in big other companies like B&Q, for example. You just walk in B&Q and you're going to see a Striebig that they're going to cut the boards for you. So normally you try to look with the top of the industry. So this is how we find this place, a bit of a top of the industry, and also we needed a vertical one. And I must say we looked a lot on the market and we kind of get into this is the best application for us, and also from cost perspective that matches our requirement and our capex. So yeah, that was the decision we made at that point. I would advise anyone who's looking into buying one of those machines is to check with any other manufacturer that's using it, the quality of it. This is the bit that helped TopHat a lot, because basically this being your start of the process, it's just the beginning of the process. If you make a mistake here, and you're going to find that at the end of the process, the rework is massive. So for us, the quality of the boards and the right first time, I mean, I would say if you look into that one, you'll probably find Striebig until quite top of the list. When you think machinery, you think complexity, you think something really hard to learn. We had full training from the TM services, to be fair, and the guys knew exactly what to do after that, but it was so much easier to cope with sliding in the boards and start to cut the boards, and you just need to follow process in there, where with different machinery you'll need to adjust them, you need to do corrections, you need to do all those kind of things. This machine is just a plug and play thing, so yeah, it's very easy to be utilized. So working with TM machinery meant a lot for myself, included, because obviously I'm in charge of maintenance as well, and it was very easy because basically they will schedule your annual service, they will schedule everything what needs to be done onto the machine. They support a lot with our in-house engineers. We have the next day delivery spare parts every time when we need them. So for us, the support from TM services was huge. It's one of the top of the list of the equipment providers we work at the minute, and they actually provide those services.